but don't make Google your guru. Don't make YouTube your guru. तुमको सर पे स्पिन करना है, that is not dance class. पैर पे स्पिन करना है dance class. वो लाठी तो बंदर भी मारता है.
What's up guys? Hi, मेरा नाम है हिमांशु और ये है मेरा YouTube चैनल. आज मैं बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ बिकॉज आज जो हमारे YouTube चैनल पे गेस्ट है is none other than one of the best and the finest choreographers of Bollywood dance industry. Guys, yes, give it up for Mr. Sandip Soparkkar.
Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You're
sir.
looking so nice. Good to see you after so long.
Yes, sir. It's been very long, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How's everything with you?
Perfectly fine, sir. Perfectly fine. Everything is going great.
Lockdown treating you?
Yes, sir.
How's the lockdown treating you?
So lockdown's been like it's a little tough because of the studio and stuff, but yeah, it's going fine. Like we've started off the online classes and stuff, and we have worked with several other like third-party projects to get some different students and things. So yeah, it's working somehow.
That's nice.
Most probably
Good.
First, Delhi will get open. So yeah.
Nice. Hopefully things will get back to normal soon. Hopefully.
For sure. Yes, sir. So firstly, welcome back to the podcast. And I am so inspired by everything that you've done in life, not just in terms of dancing, also like how you live your life. I've seen your stories, like so amazing they are. Like you've been, playing around the rain and everything. So, sir, like before we start anything up, what boosts you up so much to live life this size? Like what is that inspiration that keeps you going like that?
You know, you will agree with me, Manshu. It is the dance in our life, in your life, in my life, in everybody else's life, that gives us that energy, that gives us that zest and zeal of life to live it at the fullest. And if you practice dance as a medium of worship, as a medium of understanding yourself, as a form of meditation, then you will always live it happily.
Yes, sir. For sure. So, sir, like first question that not just me, like this question comes out for everyone who's a fan of your near me, like people who've been around me and they've been asking such questions. So yeah, sir. So, sir, you started off with Latin and ballroom dancing, and you started off back then when people were like very reluctant to go towards Western dancing, So they were not like going for it. They were only going for Bollywood dancing or something like that. So what is that one thing that you went for this particular style and you mastered it, and now you are like an internationally known choreographer for this particular style. So, sir, what is that one thing that pushed you towards this particular style?
Well, to be honest, it was to dance with beautiful women when it happened in my teenage, is when I thought it's a great way to have beautiful looking people around you. So let's just get into ballroom dancing. But, when I got into my 20s, is when I realized that ballroom dancing was not about beautiful women.
Yeah.
Latin American dancing was not about gorgeous bodies or great looks. It's about a great history of dance form, which most of us probably have tend to overlook it. And how ballroom dancing is connected with the 7 vows of wedding. When a man and woman come together, even as a boyfriend, girlfriend, or as a husband, each of these promises that we make, that we in Hinduism you call it Sat Fere or Saptapadi, and in Christianity you say the 7 vows of the wedding that we take. So we make these promises. Each of these promises have a posture in ballroom dancing attached to it. That is why in Christianity you see very beautifully after the wedding, it's the first dance the couple does. That is why they tell them, because in each of the dance that you do, you have to relive all those vows. That is why dance is also a great form of bonding people together, especially ballroom dancing. It brings people together. It makes the couple stay together. Even doctors and psychiatrists and therapists tell couples who have problem in the relationships, go and do ballroom dancing, because each time you're on the dance floor together, you will relive those vows every time. हम लोग जब शादी होती है तो क्या होता है? What are we thinking? कहाँ पे खाएंगे, क्या कपड़े पहनेंगे, हनीमून पे कहाँ जाएंगे, या कौन सा घर लेंगे? All that is what is in our minds.
Yes.
But do we even remember what 7 vows we have taken?
No, I don't think.
And how long do you remember the 7 vows? You might remember one, you might remember two, but do we remember all the seven? Each of them are as important. So if we can't remember your Sanskrit vows, you can't remember your English vows, dance it out. Because on the dance floor, you'll be reminded of each vow that you have taken. So it's a great way to build relationship. It's not only about husband, wife, it's about friends also. Even as friends, we make promises to people, to our friends. Are main tere saath hamesha rahunga saath mein, right? It's a promise you're making. So each of the promise, like I said, has a posture ballroom dancing, and we tend to relive that promise with our friends, with our dear ones. That is why couple dancing is very important for all of us in life.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sir. So, sir, like, I personally like being a dancer from very long, but all of this, like listening all of this like that, and, going into the particular depth of particular style that I've been so fascinated by this particular style. But yes, sir, there's no other person I personally feel, due respect to all the people who've been into the community, but you have been an inspiration to everyone around, not just India, but abroad also. Yes, sir. So, like, sir, I just wanted to ask one thing. Like, now you're an inspiration. Now you know the whole thing, and now you've been known in this particular thing. But back then, when we started off, were you scared of earning the bread? Were you scared of things like, I don't know if this type works out or no? Because I started off jazz, and like at a particular moment, when there was only hip hop, I was like, did I learn the right style? Will it work? Will I stand somewhere in the community? Will people also come for my classes and things? So do you also like you went through certain things like that, or it was just like you were always okay about and very confident about what you wanted to do?
I have never danced for a purpose. My purpose is to make myself happy. That is why I'm dancing. I'm not dancing because I want to earn money out of it. I still remember when I wanted to open my dance class and I went to my grandfather and told him, give me your blessings. He said, iska dhanda mat banana.
Mm-hmm.
So when that word is still in my mind, which says dhanda mat banana. So it's not a business that I'm doing. I'm doing it for myself, for my own passion, for my love for the art form. It doesn't matter to me if if the art form has got 1,000 followers or 1,000,000 followers or one follower. As far as I am dancing what I like to dance, as far as I'm doing what is making me happy, it doesn't really matter what following one has or what following one doesn't have. Because today we are in the world of Instagram and Facebook. 10 years back, it wasn't there.
Yes.
Before that, there was no internet. There was no Google. There were no mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming from a generation where we used to actually dial a kada kada ghumane wala phone.
Yeah.
So it's there was not even a touch phone.
Mm-hmm.
So not even those the button wala phone. Make a difference. As far as I am doing something which is passionate for me, that's how it's going for me.
Okay. So, sir, I've been part of this reality show, Bharat Kishar Gunjo, and you were the mentor there, and you supported us so much. And like
you guys are my favorites.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. That means a lot. So, sir, while we were choreographing there, and like we were into the process of creating episodes every time, and every time like we were the scariest. I think like we used to get scared a lot that Soparkkar sir will come and he will give us some or the other mythology from the world, and how will we ever do it because we. So I just wanted to know, like, sir, why did you study world mythology? Because that brings to me this question, because I always wanted to, ask this. So is there an interest that you build in with mythology, or like, is there another story? Just if you like to share.
Well, initially it was Indian mythology only when I was young, because my grandmom would kind of tell me all stories and shlokas and things like that, which happens to most of us in the family. It is just that when I started to learn dancing, ballroom dancing, and I got to travel around the world with my dance school, with my shows and events, I went to so many countries. The other day, my son and me were sitting and we were talking. And that is what fascinated me. When I traveled and I met so many people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different traditions, different beliefs, sometimes you tend to realize it's just so many common things between them and us. And there are so many differences as well. So what are these commonalities? And we might not agree, but that fact is that's all because of our mythology. Today we are here with some power above which is helping us to be here. So if there are stories of that power, why don't we get to know about those stories? And that is how my interest for it developed, I started to learn Greek mythology after that when I was a teenager. And then slowly, Roman mythology and African and Asian and Aztec. And there's so many of them. Egyptian was beautiful. And then when I said, let me do a course in it, my research work was on dance and how different stories of gods and goddesses and different mythologies about dancing. So it's not just Nataraj who's a dancing god. Every mythology has their respective dancing gods. So it's a beautiful way to inspire ourselves. It's a beautiful way to stay grounded, because we are the ones who separate these gods and goddesses, but finally they all are the same.
Yes, for sure. For sure. So, sir, you've been also a model, and you've been a choreographer in the industry. And sir, what I have personally seen that there are a lot of people who've been choreographer, dancers, and then turned into model, actor, and all of that. You've done you've been a model, you've been an actor, you've been a dancer, you've been a choreographer, and there are a lot of things that you keep on doing. You have your own production. So a lot of things are there. You have your dance production which goes on. You have India's Dance Week. A lot of things are going on. And what happens is when somebody is into so many things, they completely get lost. So what is that one thing that you do to keep everything all together? And is there a particular love? Like, I have an intense love of jazz, and I can do anything else. Like, I can do hip hop, I can do this and that. But when it comes to jazz, that's my love. So is there anything particular that shifts you to one thing to another, or is just that you try everything? So how do you manage? Is my question.
Well, as far as it's all my army background, I would say. Because in the army, what used to happen is every few years, 2 years, 3 years, my father would get posted out, and we would go to a new city, make new friends, experience new environment, new school, everything was new. And that, I think, has come out in this characteristic of mine. I love new challenges. I love to take up new things. And I think I cherish all those moments for sure. Like when the radio show came to me and they said, we want you to be an RJ on the show, and India's world's first radio dance show. So I was like, how will I dance with a voice? Like, we normally dance with our legs and hands and space and expression. How do you do with the voice? So I had to undergo training for it. And it's very challenging for me. Or be on stage and be a negative character as a dancer, or do so many more things. I think it's quite empowering as well, because you suddenly see a new thing in your own personality, which you never know. And that, I think, it's all, like I said, coming from my army background. And that is what excites me to do newer things, meet newer people, because that departments are different. So in modeling is completely different. You meet different types of people who are very concerned about their bodies and how they take care of themselves in terms of diet and fitness and so on and so forth. On radio, it is only about the voice, not about the body. So, you take care of your voice in so many different ways. So I think each part of life is different types of people you meet. And that's what is challenging for me.
That's very inspiring. This was the question that I've always, been in my head. Okay, so this is one question that all my single friends have asked. So they're like, sir, they've been to different classes, but they've been thrown out of certain classes, because of their stag entry, and they don't have a couple and everything. So I just wanted to ask, like, is it important for a social dancing or a ballroom dancing to have a couple, or we can do it solo also? Like, what is your call on it?
No, to have a partner is, of course, it is a couple dance form, but it is not important to come to a class with a partner. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you come to a class with a partner, I don't make you dance with your partner. Mm-hmm. Because if it's your own husband, wife, or if it's your own girlfriend or boyfriend, we tend to point fingers at the person. If any mistake is made, you have made the mistake.
Yeah.
It's quite normal. But if you're standing with an unknown person, you will, even if it's your mistake or the other person's mistake, you say sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a normal thing. So it's always better. It's always told in couple dance classes that if you come with your partner, best first dance alone. Dance with other people. So you learn to adjust in life also and on the dance floor as well. So when you learn to adjust your steps and adjust your movements into the dance form, and then when you find a partner, you will always mix very well. It is so beautifully related to life. Till the time you're not stable yourself, till the time you don't have a good job, a good income coming in, a good house, you're not settled mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, if you're not settled, there is no point in getting another person into your life. They don't marry until unless you are settled as a person. Same way on the ballroom dancing dance floor. Don't bring a partner into your arms if you are not yourself settled. So yes, if you want to enroll into a ballroom dance class, you must come in alone. If you want to come with a partner, you're welcome. But come with the attitude of dancing for yourself, understanding your own steps, understanding your partner's step, and then dance with your partner. The joy of it will be doubled and tripled because you both know your movements very well. Therefore, when you put it together, it comes out much better.
Exactly. So, sir, even I have tried like social dancing and I've gone to certain salsa classes and stuff. I liked it also. I don't want to name any classes, but like certain classes I went, like very well known also. So some were not that good also. So I just went there. I started dancing and stuff. Like I started learning and everything. I personally feel, why is this, is it important? I just wanted to ask this question. Is it important that it has to be everything about love and everything about, all of this only, like everything which is related to a couple, everything which is related to that feeling of it? Is it very important like that? Or is it like, if I want to learn, like when I see international dancers, yes, I see a lot of chemistry. Yes, I see a lot of things, but I see intense movement also. So why is that one thing which is lacking in India's, Indian dance classes when it comes to salsa and everything? Like your classes, when I see online and when I see your classes, like workshops and everything that you've taken with me also, it was completely a different thing. Obviously, you've been into the scene from very long and anything, but why, like, is there a particular thing that every salsa dancer or any Latin or ballroom dancer needs to go through first before teaching, so that they also bring in that impact in the class? So why is that our standard of dancing and internationally it's completely different? Is it because of particular reason that everyone is going to ballroom and Latin classes just to make a couple or just to have some fun in the classes, or just to dance with a girl or a boy? Is it that way, or like why is it lacking?
See, first of all, people don't understand that ballroom dancing and Latin American dancing is a sport.
Yeah.
It's a part of Olympic Games, it's part of SEA Games, it's part of Asian Games.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of athletic preparation to become a ballroom dancer or a Latin American dancer. But there are different stages of these dance forms. One is the primary one, which is the social dancing. Now, social dancing cannot be larger than life. Social dancing has to be simple, normal, kept more to easy going, because you have to dance with different people.
Exactly.
So it's a little more relaxed way of dancing ballroom dancing. The second phase which comes is a performance part of it. The performance part will have a little bit of lifts and drops and sexier movements, because that is what is performance required for it. A little more exotic feel of the dance form. The third step is the competitive dancing, where you take part in competitions and things like that, which we are stuck in or which we are preparing for. There are people who start off as social dancing, move to the performance part, and then move ahead to competitive part. Many of them have done that. In India also, I have trained people going for Asian Games and Olympic Games. We could not send them because of issues with IOC, but we send them for SEA Games, we send them for Asian Games, we send them for different international championships as well. Interest is, most of us are coming because we want to go and dance at a party, at a club, or just dance with our dear loved ones. So we are in that first phase of social dancing. Then that is what is taught to the people. And then if you're going to be showing more interest, is a different thing. But many of us probably don't want to come and perform. We just do it because we just want to do socially. So what is your thought process? And everything is right, because I'm just coming there as a feel-good factor. Then why should I go and learn competitive dancing? Why should I go and be an athlete? Because I'm just doing it for fun. So it's depending on what reason you come for a dance class. It is absolutely fine, and we train them accordingly.
Exactly. Yeah. So, say you've been part of Bollywood also and Hollywood also. You've been worked with national artists also. You've done several movies, several albums. You've done like a lot of stage performances. You've been part of a lot of international film festivals. You've choreographed international pop stars. I love jazz funk, and artists like Madonna and Katy Perry are like dream, I just want to see them once at least, how they dance on heels and things. So you've been working with all of them. So like, can you share some experiences from Bollywood and some from international, with international artists, or anything that you want to share from both the sides? So Bollywood and Hollywood and things.
I think in Bollywood, we are, as a choreographer, you're challenged a lot more
Mm-hmm.
because our actors are great dancers.
Mm-hmm.
Be it Ritik, Priyanka, Aishwarya, all of them, they are very good dancers and they pick up really fast.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a lot of difference, because of which we have to really be very creative in terms of our dancing skills.
Yeah.
That is something I really admire about our industry, that our actors are overall performers.
Mm-hmm.
They speak well, they dance well, they act well, they look great. Like, there's everything for them.
Exactly.
And they dance, some of them dance extremely well. So
Mm-hmm.
it adds up to, as a choreographer, we have to really pull up our socks and make sure that we are doing better than what we had done last time with the same artist,
Exactly.
which is quite challenging because you can't present the artist in the same manner.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you have worked with the artist, you have to make sure that you are going above what you did last time.
Mm-hmm.
And the artist also wants that. So it's a lot of pressure as a choreographer. Therefore, you tend to work harder and you tend to be more creative and really do the best that you can. Whereas in Hollywood, I think one which is very, very attractive about that part, I would say, is the time.
Mm-hmm.
In India, we work 18 hours shift, 20-hour shift, 24-hour shift. And if there was 26 hours, it would have been 26-hour shift. But there it is a simple 8-hour shift. They don't mind spending extra money on things, and let's work tomorrow, no problem. So the qadar of time is a lot different to what it is here in India. So I think they all have their own good points. I wish we can learn from them in terms of times. It would be nice. But I also understand that our budgets are a lot different to what they make their film. Their budgets are a lot different to our budgeted films. So I think it's okay with what's happening.
Okay, so like, can you tell us a little more about one favorite, Bollywood artist that you've been like, you have worked with also, and at the same time you felt that you had a good exchange with the person. So is there any particular favorite of yours, like, from Bollywood?
I love working with Ritik. I have done a lot of things for him, be his ad campaigns, different ad campaigns I've choreographed for him. I launched his HRX brand. I choreographed for him for Kites, for which he even got nominated for Screen Award, and so many of his other songs that I have worked with him for. I think he's brilliant. Like, brilliant is a small word for it. You show one choreography. Yeah, you show him one choreography and he will take it, put 1,000 things to it, make it better than what you could even imagine. And he is a superbly talented artist and extremely hardworking. I think that is what makes him what he is. So I think when you have an artist like him, like I remember when HRX was being launched, and he called me and he said, HRX launch kar raha hu, would you be able to plan this thing for me, and let's meet up and let's discuss how we can bring this brand forward, and I want dance to be an important part of HRX. So I was like, okay, now it's a big tension because it's Ritik and it's a new brand he's launching and it's his brand that he's launching. So jitne sare gaane kiye the, you have to be better than that one. And he's anyway the best. So how do you become better than the best? So it becomes very, very difficult. I think it's very stressful to do something which is also satisfying the artist. And finally, with a lot of back and forth, we came up with a choreography which he loved, and he said, yes, this is what we'll finalize.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's great to work, challenge your own self, and you should, and we should. Otherwise, we get stagnated as dancers. वही same choreography, वही same bhajan kirtan पे हम dance करेंगे, वही श्लोक पे dance करेंगे. It's great to keep tradition alive, but what about trying to break those norms and break those myths and do something more? I think that's what Bollywood also sometimes teaches us.
And anyone from so Hollywood or any international artist that you really like?
I would definitely say Madonna. There's no one better than her. I think she's definitely the queen of pop.
Yeah.
And my interaction with her was something I will never, ever in my life forget. I think that lady can even today, give these young girls a run for their money, right from the way she's looking to the way she has kept herself, the way she's a performer, and more than that, what a wonderful human being. I think that is what we need to learn. Sometimes we forget that stardom, if it brings you success and it brings you money and it brings you fame, that doesn't mean it should reach to your head, because if you're going to come down one day, you'll meet the same people who are when you're meeting them while you're going up.
Yeah, sir. And so even like apart from all of us, even Madonna respects a lot of your ideologies. I've heard that you insisted her about adoption of a child, like that. Something there was a story like that, and she absolutely accepted it. So that was like a great thing. Like international artists that everyone looks upon, and they completely love the ideology of your mentor. That's something a beautiful feeling. So. Okay, sir. So you've been also, written a personal letter, like you've been given a personal letter by Prince Charles about you spreading, the Latin and ballroom dance in the whole Asia. So, sir, like how does this, like, you as a dancer, how do you feel about this? Like, you've been the icon of whole Asia when it comes to Latin and ballroom. Like, we have not seen anyone who performs like you every single performance. Like, there are bad and good days, bad days, and like that, but every time we see you on stage, you are absolutely amazing. How does that feel? This somehow brings that responsibility even more, or you, like, what do you feel about the whole thing, sir?
Well, when I'm performing, I'm just performing. I don't feel anything. I just perform. The only thing I do is, before I step on stage, I don't know if I should tell you. Okay, I just do this prayer, and in that prayer, I just speak with him, and I tell him that I'm just trying to do something today, which has been your gift to me.
Yeah.
Dance is the gift that he has given me. It's your gift to me, and I'm trying to present your gift to people. And I bless me that I presented beautifully. That's all I tell. And I step on the dance floor. Then, if you like it, good. If you don't like it, it is his message that I'm sending out. So I'm just a medium.
Mhm.
I'm just a medium that is showcasing what he wants me to showcase. So if a performance is not good, or if someone feels performance is not good, it is his mistake. And if it is good, it is goodness of his. So I think I just become a medium of presenting his gift, which he has given me to other people.
So, sir, you understand, like, being Indians, we have very less support from the family. Like, for the initials, like nowadays, everyone has done something. If they've achieved a certain point, and then family starts supporting and things like that happens. But most of the families still struggle. We've still reached to a better place, but still a lot of families struggle. Supporting their child, or childs, they support getting good training. In terms, because it's very expensive. So, sir, I just wanted to ask you that, can you give some piece of advice to these kids who've been coming as like budding dancers, and they how they should actually take this thing? Because I personally feel that it's equally important. Parents and dancing is equally important. We were lucky enough that we got to a reality show, and we got a lot of good comments from you. So my families were very happy that finally on television you've got something. Now you continue. But this doesn't happen to a lot of people. So, how do you advise them to do so? Anything about this?
First of all, I would tell all dancers who wish to take up dance as a career that education is very important. So
Exactly.
please do not leave your studies because you want to dance. The studies will help you to dance better. We don't realize that, but you will realize it only much later in life. Education plays an extremely important role in you as a development of a dancer. That is one. Secondly, you can never go ahead if you don't have blessings of your grandparents. So I understand it must be difficult because most of us in India are not friendly with our parents. We are just, as that's my father, that's my mother, and I'm the child. And that friendly attitude is not there. We don't have the uh, freedom to speak to them what is in our mind and our heart. But as a dancer, you realize that you are free. That's what a dancer is. Dancer is like that free bird. Bring that freedom inside you, develop those guts inside you, and go and speak to your parents. Tell them what isn't running in your mind. Tell them what is in your heart. Keep them by your side. Keep them behind you. Only because till the time you don't have their heart on your head, you will never be able to succeed. So blessings of your dear ones are extremely important. And if it takes time to convince them, take that time to convince them, but try to balance that whole life, and only then you can go ahead. And then when you are moving ahead, there is no looking back for you, because today you are succeeding. Tomorrow you might not succeed. Then who do you have to fall back on? It is your parents. It is your brothers, sisters, your grandparents who will look after you in the down times. Like, for example, now in this COVID times, the careers are down for a lot of dancers. Who finally we are going back to? We are going back to our own parents, asking them to help us, asking them to, even if we're not working, we're staying with them, they are feeding us. So basically, they are helping us, right? So they should be with you. Why not? And you have to prove that you are going to be succeeding. That is why you have to work harder. Don't take things for granted just because they are your parents. So I think it's a difficult balance to make. I understand that it is a difficult balance. I remember when I told my father कि मुझे dance करना है, तो he said हाँ dance भी कर लेना. I said dance भी नहीं, dance ही करना है. And he was quite flabbergasted hearing me say that to him, because he come from a middle class family, and job security was important. And especially for a man, furthermore, job security is important. Family kaise chalegi, bacche kaise palenge, that kind of issues are always there. So, well, finally, he was not for it. I took almost 2 years to convince him. And then when he said, yes, okay, you can go and try your luck in dancing, we are there for you, but not more than 2 years, I'll give you. So, and those 2 years, I worked my wrong word to use. I worked everything out to get to make sure that he's impressed with what I'm doing. So I think it's these certain things are important. We should not take certain things for granted.
Okay. So you've been also teaching online, and you've been a consistent teacher. So like when I see someone achieve something in Bollywood, I this is my personal view, sir, but I've seen someone, if they've achieved something in Bollywood, they try to like they often they stop teaching. Usually they're into productions now, they're into acting and stuff. But you've been a consistent teacher, and that is very inspiring, sir, because most of my dancers friends, like people who dancers and they're my friends, they just talk one thing about when it comes to you, that the guy is still teaching everything, like from the start to the scratch. Like you're very patient with the beginners also, you're very patient with advanced dancers also. So sir, like obviously teaching is your love and thing, but is there anything you want to tell all the dancers across India, that even if you achieve something like this, you should not stop teaching or dancing or something like that? Because I have seen personally my dancers, like all of friends that I have, they have somehow they've achieved something, went into certain things, maybe a reality, maybe something else, maybe into a production, and completely stopped it. Now they're into bodybuilding, now they're into modeling and stuff, and they also dance. So you want to mention anything on that, sir?
Well, I think I love dance so much that I don't see myself not dancing at all. I just do it for myself. I remember when the lockdown started and you're talking about online classes, and I was like, classes have shut down. What to do? Kuch nahi hai karne ke liye. No class. What do we do? Like, how do we dance? How do I dance? And interaction with people is very important for me. So how do I do that? So someone said, let's teach through Facebook. So I was like, okay. So I started off this Facebook Live. Then I said, but I can't see people. I can't talk to people because I'm teaching, right? So I can't talk to them. Okay, then let's do Instagram. So we started teaching Instagram. And I said, no, it's still not happening. Then Zoom pe sikhayenge. So it was like a new thing. I said, okay, let me try Zoom pe sikhana. So we started off with Zoom sikhana. And I realized that I was doing it only because I wanted to dance. And then I didn't even realize, because, okay, I'm teaching ballroom dancing. Okay, I'm teaching 2 hours a day. I want to dance more, because before lockdown, I was dancing 4-5 hours a day. And suddenly now there was nothing. And then it was just 1 hour with Facebook, and then slowly 2 hours with including Zoom. What more do we do? So I spoke to my NGO friend. I said, you know what, there's a lot of depression happening for people and they want happiness, and let's use dance as a form of happiness. They said, yeah, let's do free classes for NGO people on Zoom. I was dancing 7 hours a day. with NGO children, with some old people in the NGO, with heart patients, with the cancer people, different patients, with COVID patients. I'm dancing through Zoom. So I think it was so inspiring for me because I wanted to dance. And suddenly one day I get a call from the governor's office saying that the governor of Maharashtra wants to give you a Corona Warrior Award because you've been teaching so many NGOs. So I think I realized that it was not because I wanted to I think I'll put other way around. I wanted to dance because I find a medium to do, outlet, and that is through online classes. And we were, in fact, in July when the unlock happened, we were the first dancer in the country to open, because I said even and there were 2 people coming to the class. I was like, so what? I will still dance. I still remember I would put that walk-through sanitizer, which was costing me more than the fee of the students. But I would still put that, and I would still conduct my class, because for me, I want to dance. And for me, a great medium is through a class, because it keeps me regular with my dancing. Otherwise, you tend to cheat sometimes. Chalo, aaj chutti le lete hain, aaj nahi karte. But if you have a class going on, there's a commitment of other people into your class. So you yourself go and do it, because there are other people involved in it.
So when it comes to people who are young, and when it comes to people who are little, like people who've seen a little life, I won't call it old and all, but they've seen a little life. So sir, when it comes to both the segments, when let's talk about the young people, they are into the fancy moves, dropping and lifting up and all of that. And when it comes to people who are little, grown up people, they are into the technique nowadays, which is, I think, it should be reversed, but I don't know, matlab, so is there any particular thing that you focus on while teaching people who are above 30 and all of that? Because we have got a lot of people, like my academy also, they have got a lot of people who are above 30, and they love this particular style, but because we don't master into this particular style, and we don't find also any good teacher in Delhi or somewhere near around who can be absolutely loving to these people also, but at the same time teach them also something. So we are planning a lot of things, sir. So is there any particular thing that you can you focus on while teaching people who are above 30 and 40 and 45, 50, like that? Because I've seen a lot of people in your class.
The age does not matter to me. If it's a 5-year-old or a 55-year-old, it's the same thing. The techniques is the same thing. Yes, but I also believe that dance is not about doing cartwheels and splits.
Yeah.
Because for that, you should join gymnastic class.
Exactly. Yeah.
A dance class is a dance class.
Yeah.
अगर तुमको सर पे स्पिन करना है, that is not dance class. पैर पे स्पिन करना है, is dance class. गुलाटी तो बंदर भी मारता है.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as a dancer, you have to be dancing. And when you say dancing, it is with your feet, it is with your hands, it is with your face, it is with your body. Exactly. And doing backflips or doing chakrasana and cartwheels and splits and one-hand stands and all that is not dance. Yeah. That actually is gymnastics. Yes, exactly. So if you are keen to do that, you should. Why not? And if you have that kind of body and that kind of flexibility, very good. You should take it up. But take it up and go into a gymnastic class. Don't come into a dance class. And mixing it as fusion is a great idea. But if you want to learn a dance form, learn the dance form as a dance form. Teaching it as a fusion also is no help, because until you master a few art forms, you can't fuse it. Exactly. If you learn a fusion, then it is confusion. Mm. So you should learn the art form the way it is. And be it a teenager or above 30, 35, like you asked, they all need to go through the same grill, the same grind of learning the steps. Yes, I also understand that sometimes some people pick up faster. Some people take a little longer time to understand, but that's fine. I think everybody has different grasping power. But slowly, if you put in the effort, you put in the energy, you put in the mind to it, you will achieve what you want to achieve. It can never be possible that you can't do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, in the last, I just wanted, to not ask exactly, if you can just give a piece of advice to everyone who loves Latin ballroom in India, and like people who particularly enjoy this style or are scared of, who doesn't like, they are very interested in this style. They particularly watch videos on YouTube, but they don't come for classes. So any piece of advice to all of these people around?
I don't know if I'm right to give any advice, but I think I would just like to say is that these dance forms, all the ballroom dance forms are beautiful. They have rich culture behind them. They have rich history behind them. It's, of course, looks also great and beautiful, and some of them look extremely sexy and exotic and erotic.
Yeah.
And you can learn them, but don't make Google your guru. Don't make YouTube your guru, because it's only one-sided learning. It can only show you what is to be done, but does not explain you. And even if it explains you, it does not know if you are doing it correctly or not.
Yeah.
So even if you watch a step on YouTube today and you try to copy it, you don't know if you are doing it correctly, because no one to correct you. So even if you're inspired by watching them, or today's times are much easier, you get to see it everywhere on a tip of a finger. If you're inspired by a dance form, I'm happy that you get inspired by it. Please come ahead and learn from a person who can teach you more about the art form. And the dance is not only about dancing, the dance is also about going in depth into the dance form. And by that, I mean understanding where it comes from, why it comes from, what music it's used, what costume it's used, why it is used. And all that also makes you fall more in love with your art form. It's like knowing a person. The more you know the person, the more you will love them. And that is the same thing with the dance form as well. The more I know about my dance form, the more I will love my art form.
So thank you so much for taking our time. I think we're done for the whole podcast. It was great experience. So learning from you have
Thank you, Himanshu. It's lovely talking to you. And
roller coaster ride, sir. Like starting from that reality show, I never expected. I just went to a reality show for the sake of it. I never wanted to be a part of it, but like, because you have to prove this society and things like that happens. I went to this reality show, but I found a mentor there. I found someone who I really look upon. Like, even like if there are times when I get very distracted with things and very upset also. So it usually happens, but usually I go onto your Insta stories, I see what you do, I see that you're having fun around, and that's like the chill boost to me. So I just have fun after that. So that has been like one really great thing that I always wanted to say. But yes, sir, thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, Himanshu. Lovely talking to you. You're looking great. God bless you, and all the very best. Always keep dancing.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care, beta. Take care. Bye.
Yes guys, so we're done with the podcast and I think this is one of the most important videos of my life. Trust me, मैंने बहुत dance videos करे हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें की हैं. I've been on stage, I've been everywhere, but this is, trust me, the best experience I ever had, because learning आपके mentor से वो सारी चीज़ें बहुत important होती हैं. And as sir said last में, कि सिर्फ गूगल को अपना भगवान मत बना लो, गूगल को अपना टीचर मत बना लो, क्योंकि शायद वो आपको सिखा सकता है, पर एट द सेम टाइम वो ये फील नहीं करवा पाएगा कि आपको सच में वो चीज़ आई या नहीं आई. उसको उस चीज़ से केयर वो करता ही नहीं है. आप सिर्फ इन्फॉर्मेशन वहाँ से ग्रैब कर सकते हो, बट एक मेंटोर आपको हर वक्त हेल्प करेगा कि आपका कौन सा स्टेप गलत हो रहा है और कौन सा स्टेप सही हो रहा है. तो यस गाइस, अगर वीडियो आपको पसंद आए तो इसको लाइक कर दो. मेक श्योर दिस वीडियो रीचेस आउट टू मैक्सिमम पीपल इन इंडिया एंड स्पेशली डांसर्स एंड ऑल्सो ऑल द पेरेंट्स अराउंड, बिकॉज ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. पेरेंट्स तक ये वीडियो पहुँचना ही चाहिए, बिकॉज काफ़ी सारी बात इसमें उस चीज़ को लेकर के भी हुई है. तो यस गाइस, वीडियो को लाइक कर देना, इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लेना, मेक श्योर उस बेल आइकन को जरूर हिट कर देना, क्योंकि ऐसे अमेजिंग पॉडकास्ट वीडियोस, डांस वीडियोस, एवरीथिंग आपके पास पहुंच ही नहीं पाएंगे अगर वो बेल आइकन को आपने हिट नहीं किया. मैं आपके लिए ऐसे अमेजिंग वीडियोस बनाता रहूंगा. अगर मुझसे आप कांटेक्ट करना चाहते हो तो ये मेरे सोशल मीडिया लिंक्स हैं, आप मुझे फॉलो कर सकते हो. इनफैक्ट आप बहुत सारे मैसेजेस कर सकते हो. एंड एट द सेम टाइम प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ योर सेल्फ. विल बी again back with one of the most amazing powerful videos for you guys. Until then, you guys enjoy, have fun, sleep well, eat well, make sure you definitely rest and take care of yourself and your family. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.